Alright, this is for Chuan Shin. If you like this, subscribe to my Patreon. Okay, so the first thing is that I think you did a really good job with the rendering. Nice, smooth details. I really like your lost edges on your cloak, and as they go towards the feet, I struggle with that myself. But here's some things that I would say right off the bat. The first thing is the pose. So the way you've got her is you've kind of got her foreshortened a little bit. And so she feels kind of awkward. And the way she feels is she feels like she's kind of like, here's her legs and she's bent over like this, and then she's got her arm out like this, and then her breasts are underneath there like so. So you kind of got this awkward pose going on. And to balance that out, what I would do is I would move one leg forward and then basically move one leg like almost a little bit back. And to do that, what's going to happen is that's going to give you your balance, and it's going to just feel more stable. And I think that is the major issue going on here. The other thing that you could do is you've got this information here, and so everything's the same kind of value. And I think if you push back some of the values, so let's start like bringing out that foreground or forearm right there, and you see how by bringing that forearm out, it pushes it out in front of the face. Giving it a little bit more emphasis on the face brightens that up. And so if you're having your leg out here like this, I would grab, see if we can just manipulate this leg here a little bit. So if we are going to grab, minus this here, and let's warp that so that it just gets a little bit bigger, like so. And not so much. Like that. I'm just looking at the the preview here. So by putting this forward, like so, I'm just going to hit enter, and then by grabbing this, and let's warp this too, and we're going to warp this a little bit like this, maybe something along the lines of like that. And this one here, so that now pushes it a little bit forward. I mean, we need a little bit of editing. Maybe even a little rotate, something like this. And let's warp it a little bit. Get that just a hair bit bigger. And so you can see already, just by putting this a little bit different, it automatically becomes a little bit more stable. She doesn't feel like she's tottering over. So it's something as simple as that, and then maybe even grabbing this one here, and let's transform this, and I'm just going to rotate this just slightly, nothing even like that major. And we can actually kind of warp this and put the knee out a little bit more. And by warping that, let's just kind of do this. But by warping this, and you can even kind of dissipate that in there a little bit. Let's actually, I'm going to see if I can grab this whole leg here. And just kind of I don't like that. Let's escape that out. So let me see if I can undo the warp here, if I've got enough in there. Okay, so by putting this in here and giving this a little bit more foreshadowing, like you could actually bring this knee pushed a little bit kind of more, and I think that's kind of part of the case, is like you just need to have this knee fold under a little bit more. Whether you do it with, let me try this one more time. Let's bring it down a little bit. And let's warp it. I like the little bit bigger leg on there, otherwise she looks really kind of weak on the legs. So I'm going to just add that in there. And then let's grab this and maybe transform it like And so do you see how now, I mean, it's not 100% right. You know, I need to actually get, you know, look at kind of line draw it in here. I'm a big line drawer. So, but you can see now how it's starting to really start pushing that idea. And then to push it even further with that light, you've got that high bright light on there. What you could do is just kind of pull this leg out a little bit more. And it's getting a little bit too saturated, but by pushing this knee out with a little bit more brightness and then actually shading in this knee here with a little bit of darkness. Let's actually go brush and see if we can just kind of blend some of that out. But by doing that, you're getting a little bit more stable pose, and I think that's the key point that you really want to take away from this is the pose itself feels very awkward by itself. I mean, and just adjusting the legs a little bit and highlighting some of the more of the facial features in that arm pushes the arm out and gives a little bit more emphasis to her face. So that's something that you might want to look at. All right. I hope that helps. And if you liked it, subscribe to my Patreon.